path. Now we are going to start your chapter number 2, Basics of Python Programming. In our last lectures, we discussed about Python programming language, its need, its version, its application, its features, and all this we discuss. The installation process of Python, which interpreters are used in Python, and we already installed the Python software as well as the interpreter of Python, the PyCharm software in the computer. Now we are going to start Python programming, basics of Python programming. All of you are totally aware now what are the basics of any programming language. But as per the curriculum, as per the syllabus given, we have to go through the syllabus first, and then we will discuss something more other than that syllabus. We will cover after completing our topics of the syllabus. So we are discussing basics of Python programming. This is the chapter, and the first subtopic of that basics of Python programming is Python identifiers, variables, and keywords. Python identifiers, like that. Identifiers, variables, and keywords. So whenever we ask some questions at the time of oral to the students, they cannot differentiate between identifiers and variables and keywords like that. And that's why we must have to clear our basic fundamentals before start to write the programs in Python. So what is the identifier? What do you mean by identifiers? Yes, anybody else? You can tell me through chat also what is identifier. Yes, anybody else? What is identifier? What is identifier? So this is not a new word for you, but in every programming language we discussed all this. Identifier, variables, keywords, all these are there. What are the identifiers? Yes, anybody else? What is identifier? What is identifier? So basically when we discuss the basic concepts at that time, you must know that concept in your own language. Whenever we write something in programming language, whenever we define something in programming language, and what do you say? What can we define in programming languages? When we start to write a program, at that time, what are the necessary documentations or necessary words, necessary lines that we can write a program? What are the identifiers? What is Python identifiers? Is the user defined names are the identifiers. Keep in mind, is the user defined names is known as identifier. What do you mean by user defined names is the identifier? What are the user defined names? Which are the user defined names? Yes, anybody else? What is identifier? Identifier is user defined names, like that. What are the user defined names? When we write a program, at that time, what we are defined in when we write a program? The very first is there. What we define? Variables we can define. Variables names we can define. Program name we can define. functions. When you write your functions, at that time function names which are user defined functions. When we write procedures, user defined procedures you can write. All these names that may be defined by us, that may be created by us. That's why these are known as user defined names. So all of you must know the rules of the identifiers, how to create the identifiers. It's very basic one, but in our syllabus it is necessary to consider the topic and then we can proceed. And can anybody tell me the rules of defining identifiers? Yes, rules for defining identifiers. Rules of creating identifiers, whatever you may say, creating identifiers. Yes, tell me. Yes, what should it contain? What should it contain? So all of you know that is the combination of A to Z or A to Z or 0 to 9, A to Z small case letters, A to Z uppercase characters, 0 to 9 digits, and one special character is there, that is the underscore. This is underscore. You must use while creating all the names. Second is there. Whenever we use A to Z 0 to 9, then can you write the identifier in this fashion? 9AZ, like that. 921, like that. These are what? These are the invalid identifiers. These are the invalid. Because of whenever we create identifier, whenever we define identifier, it should not be start with the digits. And that's why these are the invalid identifiers. So which are the valid identifiers? So like that, sum 1 to is the valid, salary of employee, this is the valid, total amount, this is the valid. So this is valid, this is valid, this is valid. These are the legal identifiers. So all these names, whenever we define the names of identifier, these names are case sensitive. What do you mean by once you define sum 1 2, so you cannot define that sum 1 2 in this fashion, because this sum 1 2 and this sum 1 2 are different, because case sensitive is there. Variable names, program names, file names, procedure names, these are the case sensitive, and that's why you cannot consider this one as a this one. Both are different variables or both are different identifiers. You should not take the name of keyword as an identifier. Means what? In the next coming topic we will discuss about the keywords, but the condition is there, the rule is there, you cannot define the keyword name like that. So all of you know that class is the one of the name, but you cannot define this class as an identifier, because this is the keyword in Python. And when we know about the keywords in Python, you cannot define keywords as a identifiers. So these are the about the identifier. It is very simple for you. First of all, the definition of identifier. Which are the identifiers? Which will be the identifiers? What are the rules of creating identifiers? Which are the valid identifiers and which are the invalid identifiers? All these we discussed about the identifiers. Next one is there, that is the variables. All of you are totally aware with the variables. This is a very important whenever we write programs. Variable is one of the important topic. Variables, like that. Variables. What is variable? This is a very basic definition for the variable. What is variable? whenever we write a program, we can define variable because of it changes the value during the execution of program. Value is always changing nature, and that's why that is known as variable. So actually, what is the variable? Variable is the container. Variable is the container where you can put the value in the container like that and give the name like that. So what is the meaning of that? A is equal to 50. This is the variable. Variable is the container in which you can store the value and assign the name of the particular value, that is known as variable. So this is variable. A is variable, I is variable, J is variable, sum is variable, salary is variable. All these are variable names that you can define and store the value against its location, that is known as the variable. So just we are comparing in other programming languages with Python, because this is our common observation that whenever we learn any programming language, we can compare that programming language with that programming language that we know. And that's why similarly here, if you compare Python with C, C++ and Java, the very small silent feature of the Python is there, because in Python there is no need to declare variable like other programming languages. So means what? It is not necessary to declare variable like this one, int a, like that. It is not necessary to declare variable in Python, but whenever you define x is equal to 50, it automatically initiates this is the integer one, like that. It's very simple. And whenever you define I is equal to 13.5, it automatically indicates this is the float. And that's why it is not necessary to define or declare variable in Python. So whenever anybody else say that name is equal to John, it is not necessary to define or declare this is the string, because it automatically indicates what is this one. Means what? It is not necessary to declare variable in Python. This is the very key feature in that. So these are the examples of variable. This is integer variable, this is float variable, this is string variable. So all types of variables we can define. So naturally we discuss identifiers, and in that identifiers I already told you that variable or variable names are the identifiers, because these are user defined names. Means what? It is not necessary to create any other rules in variables which are different than identifiers. All the rules are same which are already discussed in identifier. Means what? Variable name must be start with letter or the underscore character. Is very important feature of variable concept in Python. So what do you mean by this one? Whenever we discuss the examples, at that time we will see why these examples are there. So if you consider the names of variable like that, names of variable, total salary, like this is the name of variable, underscore result, what is that? What is that? What is underscore? What underscore indicates? What underscore indicates? This is the previous result. Whenever any variable starts with underscore, what was the previous value of this result can automatically assign when you define underscore. Means what? This is the variable name, this is also the variable name. So again the same condition is there. Do not take keyword as a variable name. These variables are case sensitive again. Means what? Except one rule. This is the one rule. You can start variable name with underscore also. All the rules are common which are belongs with the identifiers. And that's why this is variable. It's very simple. So next one is there, that is the keyword.